Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 4, Episode 6. So let's get to it. Alright, you guys, so the show starts where it ended last week, which was with the tired argument between Candiace and Ashley. Okay, because the fact of the matter is Candiace doesn't believe that Ashley is serious about having a baby, and Ashley is super offended that Candiace had the audacity to challenge her, her will to even have a baby. So we go back and forth with a little bit of that, and finally Gizelle is like, well, damn. Now, had I known that it was going to do all this, I wouldn't have said anything. I said, bitch, you is a fucking lie. Okay, because we all know that Gizelle loves, she loves a little back and forth. But I think that they wasn't expecting Candiace to be quite the spitfire that she has turned out to be. And it's funny because I think Candiace is trying to assert herself in her role as a housewife, and I don't know if most of the girls are feeling it. I did not put my wax in. I just a glutton for punishment. I have it in my purse, so I'll put it in after I finish this. So, Gizelle was like, enough. Candiace, everybody here that had a baby, we was all drunk when we got pregnant. Ashley, you go on ahead and drink up, okay? And let's end this conversation here. So the conversation ends there. She kicks everybody out. And it's the close of yet another day in New Orleans. Now, the next morning, Karen is down meeting Gizelle first. Good morning, Gizelle. Oh, I got so much rest last night. I was able to talk to Ray. Thank you so much for understanding. Did you guys have a good time? Gizelle says she could say something, but you know what? She's not going to say anything. Yep, we had a great time. That's all you need to know. Monique comes on down, and then we get Ashley. And child, I was surprised to see old late freight Robin actually come down on time. Now, Robin looked like it took all of her might to get down there. She looked exhausted. I was just like, why is this girl always so tired? What the fuck is happening at that house? Anyway, the girls are going to split up today. Robin, Karen, and Monique, was it? Are going to go alligator watching. Gizelle and Candiace are going to rub elbows with the who's in New Orleans. Well, where is Ashley? Well, Ashley and Katie are going to a tarot reading. Okay. Sounds fitting, right? Those two seem like they'd be going to a tarot reading. So we have Gizelle and Candiace in one car, and Gizelle is telling us that she believes that, even though Candiace is, hood ready, she believes that she has enough sense in her where she would at least act like she has some sense around, like I said, the who's, okay, the bee's knees in New Orleans. She's meeting with her father and some other big names in New Orleans, also the mayor of New Orleans. So, yeah, she's going to need Candiace to be... Well, Candiace ain't no fucking wild woman. So, it's just like, well, why you act like the girl is just super ghetto and crazy? So, that's one thing in one car, okay? In the other car, we have Karen, Monique, and Robin, like I said. Karen wants to know exactly what happened the night before. Monique tries to explain what happened. Well, Candiace felt like Ashley was not serious about trying to have a baby. And, Monique is in this different place, like I told you guys last week, so Monique is just like, I just feel like everybody needs to stop judging people and the decisions that they make for their own lives. Now, I know you guys all last week, everybody in my comments was just like, Ashley was the one who said that she wanted to have a baby, that she was going to stop drinking, and she was still drinking. Okay, that's fine. But that still doesn't mean that you need to be the one that just keep pinning her to the wall. And I know I'm in the minority to this, but I was just like, it is not that big of a deal for Candiace to be fighting. If you have your opinion about whether or not the girl want to have a baby, then fine. But for you to be going back and forth and arguing over it, so much of a waste of time and energy. Now, of course, Ashley did have it coming because Ashley, gave Monique the blues last year. Ashley has been in everybody's ass. Okay, so she had it coming. However, like I told you guys last week, I think Candiace really made a lot of people, her co-workers, look at her differently, with the exception of Karen, who wasn't there. But I'm on the same page as Monique. Like, just let everybody live their life and stop being so fucking judgmental all the time. She made too much of that argument. Not that big of a deal. So anyway, they get down there to the alligators. I couldn't even really concentrate on the scene because they insisted on having that fucking camera at the back of Karen's head. I mean, the whole scene, the camera was about right here. And Charlie with this one struggly braid. I said, why? First of all, the scalp of the wig is orange. And then you got these platinum blonde 613 braids on it, and the braids are struggly. So it's just like, why did you guys do this to this woman? So, they're there, and Karen is already kind of not feeling it. The man gives her the food to feed the alligator. He's telling her, she was just like, I see why Gizelle was so mean. She was fighting alligators all her life. Honey, I'm sure Gizelle gave them alligators a fucking run for their money. And when one of the alligators tried to snap up there at Karen, her ass jumped. Now, I don't know how old Karen was, 55 or so. Her 55-year-old ass jumped over that damn bench so quickly. I don't know if I would have been there for the Well, I'm sure it was safe. Yeah, that was their little outing. Now we see Gizelle and Candiace. I believe they went to Dookie Chase's restaurant, her establishment, who just died. Didn't I just see her on Brittany's? I think I just saw her on somebody's Instagram that she just passed recently. I hope I'm getting that right. I'm almost sure that that's what I just read recently. But Dookie Chase was the cook, or the chef, I should say, for the civil rights era. Like when all of the civil rights fighters, back in the 60s were out on the ground, beating the pavement, trying to get their voices heard, and they couldn't go anywhere else. She would feed everybody. They meet at her place. They meet her there along with Gizelle's father and also the mayor of New Orleans, who happens to be a black woman, first black woman to do so. And, so they just sit there. They kind of get a quick little history lesson. Dookie Chase was funny because she was just looking at Candiace. As soon as Candiace introduced herself, I saw her face like, She was like, you guys trying to show me up? I was just like, oh, she's funny. But, they sit there and they talk, and yeah, Gizelle, Candiace actually can act like she has some sense around people. Imagine that. Now, remember I told you that Katie and Ashley was going to a tarot reading. They get there, when they sit down, you guys, Katie drops this nugget out of the blue. She says that she's had surgery on her hands, so now she can't sweat on her hands. Okay, see, no clam, no sweat, nothing. You don't feel. I said, first the fuck all. That's how you know when motherfuckers got money just to be wasting. And how much do your hands have to sweat that you actually have to have surgery for it? Maybe if you put down some of them DRUGS's, you wouldn't sweat so much, Katie, but you ain't heard that from me. That's all hearsay. But y'all, the reason why we are liking Katie this season is because Katie is just a little different. Just a little different. Moving on along. Ashley sits down with the tarot reader. He pulls out the cards. He says, he's got 15 cards there. One of them is his like, oh shit, something ain't right here. And she was just like, well, am I going to be able to have a baby? He says, oh, infertility issues. Okay. Well, I can just tell you that you need to stop putting so much pressure on this baby. She tells him about the miscarriage, and he says, yeah, and, she goes on about how her marriage fell apart. Her husband didn't want to have a baby. He left her and all that, and he was just like, well, the children are, the culmination of a marriage. It's not the reason for a marriage. So it's just like, well, you're going to have this baby, and that should just be something, the glowing point of a marriage. You guys have accomplished something together, okay? Not trying to hold the shit together because of the kids. So, Ashley was so, so she couldn't believe it. She said that was so deep. She got the little teary eyes and everything. And then she says, well, am I going to be having a baby in the near future? And he said, well, the answer's inside you. I see it. Now, how much y'all pay for this tarot reader? I could have told you that with just a regular deck of cards. Now, told Candy that Todd was there, her husband was there. This the kind of shit that we want. Okay, not nobody that just, I mean, no disrespect. But I was just like, this is the same common sense stuff that anybody would know. So anyway, she's so touched by the tarot reader. And then afterwards, her and Katie, because they have so much fun together. They on the same page, and I've always had a good time. They go and try on lingerie at the lingerie shop. Okay. And I mean, I guess you want to call it lingerie because when Ashley goes in there, she comes out, very nice boobs. Okay. Nice young pouty boobs, up. I don't know if doesn't look like she had a boob job, but maybe she has. But anyway, she has on pasties. Okay, and then here come Katie with her pasty. Now, Katie's flapjacks did look better than the other day when she was showing it to us, but yeah, they got their pasties on and they jumping around. I was just like, oh, good thing they weren't with the other women, because honey, they would not have approved of that. Can you imagine the type of looking down her nose that Gizelle would have had she seen that? Good thing them two girls was on their own. Gizelle calling the girls, to get ready for dinner. We gotta rush. She doesn't want to be late. But she goes downstairs. She meets her dad. And they're going to take, it looks like a trolley or something, I'm not sure, to, I'm assuming, his birthday thing. It's an all-white party. I looked at Gizelle. I said, girl, you almost had it. Then you had to put them white boots on, child. Why the white boots? Who is dressing this child? Okay, looked pretty. The dress was nice and everything. Them boots, child. I was just like, She gets on the little trolley with her father, and the rest of the girls still aren't there. Well, I guess the rest of the girls, I was kind of confused on the setup. The other girls we saw getting on a bus. They're on their way to the same location. And then, of course, we see Karen. She's knocking on Katie's door. Okay, Katie in there putting on wigs and shit. I mean, the old scraggly, crazy looking wig. I was like, don't she wear her own hair? Like, what's going on? And she trying to get dressed, and I was like, isn't it a white party? What are you doing? I'm riding with you. We're going to take an Uber. We are late. Okay, Katie got to get it in gear. So Katie and Karen are going to be late. Everybody else are on their way to this party. So they get to wherever the party is going to be, or maybe a couple of blocks away from it, and they're going to have a second line. That's when the band follows. Look, I'm not up on the whole New Orleans, Louisiana thing, but I did experience a second line at my sister-in-law's funeral when my husband's sister passed. They did a second line. We parked at the beginning of the cemetery, and we walked all the way, which was very far into the cemetery, to her grave site. And it was actually I was just like, wow, this is something else. I mean, it was an experience. Now, I don't know if that's a normal thing that they do for funerals as well, but yeah, just a little bit of culture. So anyway, they do their walking down the street, get to that place. Poor Monique had on heels and everything. She was just like, I'm pregnant. Like, when is this going to stop? Well, they get to their location. Everybody is happy to see them. All of Gizelle's family. So she's, introducing everybody's hugging and all of that. Then we see Katie and Karen get there as well. They went on ahead and gave them a little second line, real quick, just to get them up the stairs and into the room so they can have the same experience. And then once everybody is there, Gizelle wants everybody to sit down so we can chat, because they've all been in 3 different places today. Everybody is talking about their day, what Gizelle and Candiace did, and then Ashley tells them about the tarot reading, what the tarot reader told her, how the answer to having this baby is inside of her. And Candiace was just like, and Ashley, on that note, I want to apologize, for judging you. I can't say that I know exactly what you're going through. However, I would love to be a part of it if you would let me. And do you know that damn Ashley said, yeah, that's going to take some time. I said, ain't this about a bitch? Girl, you done put everybody through all kind of mayhem and turmoil. You've been all up in everybody's shit. You done told everybody shit. You done made up shit. You done insinuated shit. Okay? Even on the bus on the way over there, you apologized to Monique for saying the shit that you said about her last season. Who who is now very pregnant, okay? And she forgave you. All right. She said that, she just wants to move on. She knows how it feels to be judged. She just wants everybody to, so she accepted your apology. Yet and still, you sit down here and tell the girl that you got to think about it, and it wasn't even all that serious. Okay. I said, this bitch just want to be mad. Karen was just like, did she say she needed time? She sounds like Miss Karen. Candiace is just like, wow, is that right? Okay, well, I did try. Yeah, you did try. But like I said, you already gave Ashley the opportunity to be in this place and to begin with. All the other girls talk about how it's taken some years for them all to get to this place. And that's why I also feel like they kind of look at Candiace like, girl, you knew. Okay, and they are hazing her even if they don't realize it. And Ashley gives us her reasoning. She says that she doesn't believe that Candiace can behave like an adult, that she needs to grow up. I said, ain't this about a bitch? Y'all not about to paint this picture about Candiace. I see it already happening. After they all were at the table, Karen wants to know what happened the night before. She wants to get it from Candiace. So her and Candiace go off to the side. So Candiace tells her, Ashley said she wanted to have this baby, but she's been drinking a lot and, this, that, and the other. And Karen was just like, listen, if Ashley is truly changed, then we will see that. But if Ashley is still the same, then trust and believe we will see that also. Ashley is still the same. We all know that. Now, at the party, Gizelle's ex is there. I said, Gizelle she does not have a type. I mean, she dates tall, short, thin, fat, light skin, dark skin. I mean, just every time she shows a new man, he looks nothing like the other one. But he's got his white on as well, his lavender shirt. They're grilling him about Gizelle, and them dating back in the past. And Karen walks over while they're talking. She hears that they used to date, and so she was just like, so you and Gizelle dated for about 1.5 years, and then she ran you off. Gizelle has a distinct way of running people away. She starts telling all Gizelle's business, and Gizelle is sitting there like, I was just like, oh, Karen, you are really doing the most. I think Karen was still annoyed about that daddy, okay? So, this was her little chance to kind of dig in the knife a little bit, and Gizelle is standing over there like, you will not be sitting up here telling this man all my damn business now. She was mad at Karen. I was just like, so what? So, somewhere along the line, we all end up at a table again together, and the Ashley and Candiace argument resurfaces. And honestly, it was way too much, because you're at this party, and this is a real party. This isn't a put-together Bravo party. I mean, maybe they did put it together for the show, but you know what I'm talking about. She got her people there, like her family there. Y'all arguing and shit and carrying on. Candiace with the hands. Gizelle had already told her she's a little aggressive, and Candiace had agreed about that. When she's drinking, it's a lot of Candiace that you got to take in. But like I said, I think Candiace is trying to be a certain kind of way. So once they go start the back and forth, Gizelle's just like, listen, y'all gonna have to cut this shit out. It's my daddy's party. It's his 80th birthday. I got all my people here. Okay, cut the shit. What the fuck is this? Some old pageantry, Ashley has always been shady to Candiace all last season, when Candiace really did try to cultivate some sort of friendship between the two of them, them being the young girls and all of that. But Ashley doesn't want to have that with Candiace for some reason. So we cut that, and then Gizelle gets up there, says a couple of nice words about the daddy. Okay, the daddy get up there, thanking people and whatnots. And then she goes and gets the cake. Candiace gets up there and says, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear daddy. Happy. And then here come Ashley, all off key. Okay, and I was like, that bitch is not even doing that on purpose. She thinks that she's on key. She calls herself harmonizing. I said, girl, you cannot sing at all. But she was trying to annoy Candiace as well. But it didn't work. You was just tone deaf, and that's just what it is. But the dad is so touched, and Yeah, they have a good time, you know, minus all the fighting and bickering at Daddy's 80th birthday party. When they get back on the bus, everybody is fucking tired. Okay, it's time to call it a night. Folks got flip-flops on. Folks is dozing off. Yeah, I know New Orleans can be, maybe could be the city that never sleeps, but not for this group. Everybody take it back to the hotel. We're going to take our ass to sleep. Try again the next day. So, the next morning, Karen is down meeting Gizelle first. Okay, Gizelle, what do you have planned for us today? Well, Gizelle says they're going to go take a steamboat ride, and then they're going to end up at the Café du Monde, okay? And they're going to have beignets and, you know, all of that. All the girls come down, okay? We're going to have a good time except for Katie. Honey, Katie is hungover or something like that in the bed. Knocked out sleep. We don't even know what Katie did the night before for her to be this tired, considering all the rest of the women was able to just jump up and go. So, yeah, we got our good eye on Katie. So all the girls get out onto the bus. We ride into the steamboat. Monique tells us that when she gets back from New Orleans at the airport, actually all of her family is coming in for the rainbow baby party that they have, and you know, and this is going to be first time that she sees her mother-in-law. You know, ever since mama was like, oh, I beg your pardon. Child, I can't wait till that mama come back. We gonna see. I bet you that mama gonna be calmer now, okay, after she saw how she acted on that season. But maybe not. Maybe not. So we'll see. But anyways, they get to the boat. They sit down. I thought it was funny when the little bug flew by and it must have landed on Candiace or near Candiace, and she jumped up and they was all looking at her like, bitch, what is wrong with you? She done got on their nerves so bad. They was all like, Candiace, calm down. It was just a little bug. Okay, all that you doing. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Just one of them ones that just don't know how to fucking act around a bug. So, you know, Candiace did all that. And they was all looking like her like, oh, girl, you are just insufferable sometimes. Anyways, they asked how did Gizelle's night go, and Gizelle said that she had a nightcap with her man, and Ashley was like, oh, so is that the reason why you cut us short last night? And she was just like, no, I mean, you know, this one's pregnant, you know, people had on flip-flops and everything, and then Karen, you know, she's grieving. Why do you always say it like that? She's grieving. Gizelle was like, first of all, this is the first time I said it. She was just like, no, it's not. You've said it plenty of times, but you know what? Let's drop that word. Let's drop the word grieve. Giselle was like, well, what do you want to call the word then? How about you don't say nothing else about it? Why are you making fun about the fact that this woman is having a hard time getting over her parents' death? Even if you don't believe it, give her the benefit of the doubt. Giselle is so... Like, do you not see that this woman could be struggling with the death of both her? How do you feel about your dad? You guys just celebrated his 80th birthday. If he was to die, you know, I'm not asking for this to happen, but if your dad was to die suddenly, do you think that you would like to hear people saying that, oh, Gizelle is grieving? She's so, it's just unbelievable. She set me up to come on this trip to think that I could get over my parents. That's right, Karen. She just wanted to pick at you here. And it's too bad that you fell for it, but now you really see Gizelle for what she is. Okay, so then they get back on the bus, and now we're on our way to Café du Monde. Okay, Monique was like, enough. I'm tired. I done hung as much as I can. I can't do no more. I'm gonna tap out now. Y'all take me on back to the hotel and y'all keep it pushing. Okay, so they drop Monique off and then they go on to Café du Monde. They meet Katie there. When they all sit down, then the subject of the man that Gizelle was talking about comes up. Gizelle was like, oh yeah, he actually told me how you looked all in his shirt at his label of his shirt. You know, Katie just a little different, y'all. And she tells him that she had this drink. Robin says, so you being with him last night, did that make you want to spread your wings? You know, it was nice seeing you with another man. It was nice because I haven't seen you smile in a long time. Gizelle was just like, well, you know, when she was about to answer, Karen was just like, wait a minute, I thought you and Sherman were in counseling. Oh, why she say that? Child, no, you not about to sit here and talk about Sherman. You know, Gizelle was like, Karen, I already told you I am not talking to you about Sherman, okay? So she was mad. And they were just like, what's the problem? She was like, because we sat down at her house and we came to an agreement that I was not going to be talking to her about Sherman because she is friends with Sherman's ex-wife. And they showed a little picture with the highlight of Sherman's wife. We know who she is. Karen was just like, listen, I think that Gizelle is trying to set boundaries, and that's fine. I don't give two shits about Sherman. But the word is out that he is seeing another woman, and I guess that Gizelle thought that I was going to blast her today. I'm not that girl. So it's gotten heated, okay? Every time that Karen is saying something, Gizelle is shutting her down, over-talking her and everything. Finally, Gizelle was just like, leave me alone, stop talking to me, let me enjoy my beignet, because I like to dip my beignet in my hot chocolate before I eat it, okay? So after she done shut Karen down and Karen sat there and thought about it for a few minutes, honey, I guess that was the tipping point for Karen. Now, all of her keeping her mouth shut for this whole trip, it all boiled over at the table. Gizelle, on a serious note, with that bullshit that you did at the table, when I ask you a fucking question, I will not bring Sherman's name up again, but when I ask you a fucking question, you will never disrespect me again. Do you understand that? Stay in your fucking place, okay? Receive that. Robin was just like, oh no, you're not gonna talk about my friend like this, okay? All of the cursing is not necessary. I will cuss who the fuck I want to, when the fuck, where the fuck, how the fuck I want, okay, Robin? But if it makes you feel better, I will take it into consideration. Everybody at that table was like, Karen has had enough. And Gizelle, now that she's brought this totally ugly side out of Karen, she tells us that she and Karen will never be friends again. They'll never get that back. No, you never will. And you don't need to. Y'all just move on. But when it was all said and done, Karen was just like, I feel better. Oddly enough, Karen, I do too. Alright, you guys, let me get off of here. I'm at Dunkin' Donuts about to get me some coffee and then take it to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Alright. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.